Rolling fields of gold and cotton rows, a never-ending sky. Take it slow, easy road, man, that's life. Miles and miles of John Deere green, freedom far as I can see. The road to run and room to breathe, it's who I am and I'll always be. Caught up in a country. Caught up in a country.
Welcome back to another video from Triple Beam Outdoors. We got the beaver we trapped yesterday. We left him to sit in the garage to dry off overnight. We're going to go ahead and skin him today. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is I like to turn them a little bit so I can get to their legs better. You're going to want to ring around all the legs and arms. It just makes it easier and coming up. The only thing you're going to need is a sharp knife and a pair of loppers. It makes it a lot easier. You don't have to go too high on the arms, because whenever you're tacking it up to dry, you'll end up cutting some of it off anyways. But just ring around them, take your loppers, break that bone. A lot of times you're going to have to go back, cut that off. Now that we got all the arms off, you need to do the same thing to the tail. And on the tail, you don't want to cut it up in here. Just stay back right along, right next to the tail. If you have a sharp knife, you can usually cut all the way through it, and sometimes even the tailbone, if you have a sharp enough knife. If not, you can twist it or just break that tailbone through, cut it. You can keep the tail, dry it out if you want it, make a fly swatter, whatever. Now you got the tail off, all four limbs. You flip the beaver over, and if your knife has a gut hook on it, you can hook right here in the bottom lip. You can zip all the way down to where his tail is. If not, I usually don't do that. I just keep a knife, my sharp knife. I start down here, and you're going to make a little cut straight to his caster. And that's just this little hole right here. And then you're going to take and go from the caster all the way up to that bottom lip. We're going to start back down here at his caster. You don't want that on your fur, so just make two cuts right around it. So now that we have our beaver zipped all the way up and down, you're just going to take one side, you're going to skin it all the way to the back. You're going to take the other side and do the same thing. It's real easy. So you're coming up on the leg. This is the leg right here, and this is where your hole that you cut is going to come in play. You usually can just pull the leg through right there, and that's your leg hole. And then you can just skin it right down the side of it, right underneath of it, just like that. That fur is going to come right through his front armhole. You can pull it right through there, and that's his front arm. You're going to have the same hole just like the back leg. Pull that arm through, you can see your hole, just skin it straight right down it, right down that arm. And what I see a lot of people do is if they're knife isn't super sharp, or they'll grab this hole and they'll just go to rip this leg through and it'll rip this hole really big. You don't want that. You just gotta be careful. The skin around this arm is actually pretty tough, but you still don't want to rip a big hole in your nice beaver. So now we got the front arm, back leg through. We're just going to go ahead. I like to flip them over and just keep working that hide.
Just gotta do the same thing on the other side?
Yeah, but keep working the hide up to the back until you hit about the spine. This one's off. Now that it's almost to the spine, I'm going to flip him back over. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, now that we got both arms out on this side, I cut a hole in the guts, imagine that, but it's going to make a little bit of a mess, but can't be scared to clean up. Just going to take and work this side just like we did the other side. Around. Now the tail, now that we got both sides worked up almost to the spine, I'm going to start at the tail and I'm going to take it this way, because what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up pulling the hide all the way to the head. We're going to end up working it off the head. It's going to make it that much easier. When you're cutting around the tail here, the hide's a little thinner, so you're going to want to be careful. Just take it slow, cut around it. You want to really hug the meat on it, hug the tail, just to make sure you don't cut any holes. It should just slowly, but very easily come off. And just like that, you got the tail. You got the tail off. So you're just going to keep working the hide back. I've done beaver faster, but there's no point in rushing. Just take your time. Slowly but surely that hide's going to just work right to the head, real easy. So once the hide gets close to the head, you can move positions or to the other side and just keep tension on. Just keep tension on it and just keep pulling it around. Make sure we're around our arm here. So what I like to do is, now that I'm officially at the whole skull, is I like to hang the hide off the table or hang it off of whatever I'm on, because the weight of the hide is going to keep tension on it while I'm cutting, and it's just going to keep coming down. So you're going to come up on the ears. They're both right here. You can feel them. You're going to come up on them, and when you do, you can see it right there. Just make a quick cut, and it's through. You don't want to rip a huge hole in it, so just keep it right around. You're going to come up on the eyes next. That's one right there. So that's both ears. Both ears are through. We don't have big holes in them, which is good. So now we're going to work down to the eyes. And that hide, you can see as I'm cutting, is just keeping tension on it, and it's just pulling it right along. There's one eye right here. Just cut straight across it. That hide's just going to pull right along it. That way you ain't got a big eye hole. Same on this side. Just going to come. Keep working it. You can feel the eye with your knife. It's a little indentation. There it is right there. You're just going to keep cutting it right along. And this point, you're pretty close to being done. If you've ever skinned a coon or anything really. It's pretty well the same with all of them once you hit the nose. You're just going to take it and cut it straight off, just like that, leaving the nose on it. And at this point, all we got to do is just work the rest of it down, and we are almost done. And there it is. So after that, you have your perfect beaver hide. It's ready to be fleshed and tacked up. We're going to wash him a couple times, get all the blood off of him. That's a nice sized beaver, but as you can see, you got his nose on it, 2 little eye holes, and both of the ears. And that's how you skin a beaver. Alright, it's pretty neat how they come out to be almost a complete circle whenever you tack them up and flesh them. But I'm not a professional. That's just how we learned to do it and how I've done it over the years. And I cut the guts open, and I mean, I've done a lot of beavers, so it's alright. And you just learn and take your time, and go slow is the biggest thing. You don't have to get in no big rush. But if you have any comments, questions, anything, just let us know. Like and subscribe, and good luck out on your trap line.